Good morning, good morning on this Sabbath day today, the 21st of December. I believe it's the first day of the winter season according to the Roman calendar. Hope all is well with you all today. I had a request earlier this week, a young lady who um, commented on one of my recent posts. She asked that I talk more about my experience as far as my awakening. So I was like, okay, let me talk about that. So to the title of today's lesson, and I wrote it down over here, is from sleep to being awake. That's the title of it. And a scripture that I want to go over, a couple scriptures, but the first one I'm going to read is from Ephesians chapter 5, verses 11. And it says, take no part in the worthless deeds and evil and darkness. It said, instead, expose them. That's Ephesians 5:11. Um, Also, I want to read here. I'm read two more scriptures before I go into my talk, my lesson. Matthew chapter 10, verses 36. It says, a person's enemies will be those of his own household. Okay, and the last scripture here is Matthew chapter 12, verses 48 through 50. I'm gonna uh, verbatim, but I forgot the word what you use when you not citing something verbatim, but loosely translation here. But it's whomever does the will of the Father of Abba of Yahuwah. Uh, those persons is your mother, your father, your sister, and your brother, and that's out of Matthew chapter 12. Also in Matthew, it talks about that Yahushua, he's not coming back here to for peace. He's not coming back here as a lamb. He's coming back as a lion. He's coming back to bring division within the family unit. And I stated Matthew 10, 36, that your enemy, according to scripture, your enemy will be those of your own household. So my awakening, and I'm still like evolving, ascending, as awakening. It's different. It's levels. Let's say it's levels to this, you know. So man, how can I say? So I was let me okay. I always say my awakening was, January 29th, and then the big one was April 25th. But prior to January 29th, so 10 years, 2014 is when I walked away from organized religion, Christianity. And Yahuwah basically was telling me, hey, you need to leave this place. I mean, it was crazy because, growing up in the church, loving the church, and, all the things that's a part of that, thing, choir and whatnot and all that, I found myself not so much not liking it, but when I would walk into the church, I would be overcome with grief. The same grief you would feel at the loss of like a loved one, whatever. And I didn't understand why was I feeling this grief in a place that I held value to me, a place that I loved. And yeah, it lasted for 2 years, me feeling this way, until I just finally just up and just what, this is, I gotta answer this. You wish would don't want me to be here. Y'all don't want me to be here. Leave. But I remember back in college. Now I was a late bloomer. I did go to college right out of high school, but I didn't do well. So I waited years later, and I graduated with my undergraduate degree. I think I was like 40, either 40 years old. No, I was 41, and then I graduated with my master's at 43. So in undergrad, I was, that time, I recall a class I was in. I learned about Emperor Constantine and the Romans, and about how basically they are the ones that gave the world Christianity. Christianity is heavily influenced by Greek and Roman stuff, and I couldn't understand how the Romans. These are the people that took part in, the assassination, the unaliving of the Messiah. How are they the ones that's giving us religion? So that was a red flag that went off in my head in college. Fast forward, well, actually, that was like undergrad. So I was undergrad from 12 to 14. So that probably was like either 2012, 2013. And then 14 is when I left Christianity. All right. So then, now fast forward to January 29th of this year, having coming out of a narcissistic relationship. And I was sitting in my living room, and I hadn't Googled, I hadn't looked up nothing pertaining to narcissism on YouTube, but I watch YouTube a lot, and YouTube, there was someone's video, content creator, and it was concerning narcissism, and I clicked on it, and then that was the end of that. I was like glued to the TV 24/7, watching everything I needed to know about narcissism, and in that, I was awakened to the fact that I had, throughout my adult life, all of my people I've dated had been narcissistic people. And so that's what I was just focusing on that. And then as I'm watching these videos, it changed from narcissistic people to chosen people, and how narcissistic people, or how chosen people, tend to always find themselves involved with narcissistic people. So from January to April, I'm just learning about narcissistic people, the different traits and all of that. And as it pertains to, husband and wife, spouses. And it wasn't until my April 25th awakening where I was awakened to a lot more, not just narcissistic far as relationships, but for narcissistic units in the family, on the job, in your church. I started reflecting on my experiences with different people who are narcissistic in my family, my parents, certain siblings, and just a lot of craziness that had happened on jobs and happened in the church and happened in my family. And baby, when I had my awakening, I went to exposing Ephesians 5:11. I just started talking. What they say, a truth teller. I was telling everything. Apologizing first of all the people I had wrong. I'm calling them up, crying, apologizing, begging their pardon, and then I'm going. So my earlier videos, when I was doing this Ephesians 5:11, like I stated in the other videos, and I look back. I rarely look back on my old videos, but yes, I was Ephesians 5:11, but it was coming from a place of hurt and anger, because I'm now like, how could people that I love, friends, family, did this to me, or, and I didn't understand. I gave everything, I'm an empath, I'm chosen, I'm all that, and I just didn't understand why would someone, that I value, that I call myself love, would do this. Well, just because you love someone, that don't mean they love you back. You know what I'm saying? You might be in love with somebody, they're not in love with you. So and that's how my awakening was, just in the beginning, just exposing all this. And so I kind of tailored my teachings and lessons away from that, because it still was like, I had a lot of healing that I needed to do, because it was still a lot of hurt and pain associated when it came to the narcissistic abuse that I suffered at the hands of like family members. Yeah, with the co-workers and bosses on the job, and even in church. But that family thing, it hit close to home. And so then I thought about stuff growing up, how I was treated in my family. And as I got older, far as evolving and on my job and whatnot, a lot of family members' jealousy was exposed. And I was like, even, siblings, parents, uncles, aunts, cousins, a lot of jealousy stuff. And I was like, what? It'd be your, what's that little, is it a euphemism, little thing? It'd be your own people, it really do. It be your own people, man. People you deem as close friends. The people you give the label of close friends, best friends, and these family members, them be your haters. Now, of course, you're gonna have people, outside of that. Of course, that's kind of like a given. You expect them hating you or whatever. But when it's your family, bro, it cuts deep. You let your guard down when you're around your family and stuff, so they have access to you. Bam, in your back. So it's like, man, but yeah, my awakening was awesome. Not awesome, but it was a lot of emotions. It was, you awaken to a lot of truths, but a lot of the truths, it was like hard to digest, hard to swallow the pill, because it's like, ooh. So people, I want to be awake, I want to be chosen. People talk about being chosen, or as some of the worldly people say, the third eye opening and all of this. Just be ready for the truth. Because some of these truths will hurt your feelings. Some of these truths out there will hurt your feelings. So you like this video, like, comment, and share. And I do have other videos on my all my platforms, YouTube and TikTok, but mainly YouTube, beloved_the_chosen, where I have more videos talking about my awakening. I go more in depth, okay? So take care, and I hope you enjoyed this message and enjoy the rest of your Sabbath.